Welcome back to Make Good Choices Monday. I'm Becky Amio, and if you guys want to see how I've recovered from some of the really bad choices I've made in the last couple of weeks, stick around. You don't want to miss this video. All right, you guys, so let me orient you a little bit to my setup. Here's one tie rail where I normally tack up, and then that's a stud knot pen, and then straight shot to the round pen. But I've got two 3-year-old studs standing right here, and these guys are tied together because they live together and they've already worked out a pecking order. And then over here I got two more. I got a stud and a young gelding. Both are 3-year-olds. Standing over here, both are broke, and again, they live together. They live with the two guys I just showed you, and so they've all established a pecking order. These are all the guys that were inside the arena when I had my little situation I told you guys about here a couple of weeks ago. And then this is the road we have to walk up, and I have mares up in those big pens up there. And currently I have 3 yearlings inside the arena. I just put them in there for today so they could go out and play and, you know, just get some time out together. They usually go out in the round pen together, but they're just hanging out outside here, getting some playtime and getting acquainted with the arena. But that's what he has to navigate right now, and I don't think that's asking too much. All these boys are capable of navigating and getting along and walking past these mares and going up this road here, up past our house and out to the creek pasture where I normally ride. If he can't do that, he certainly cannot go to town, be ridden at a show, be ridden at a barrel race, be hauled anywhere. So we got to get over. We got some things to navigate here before we can go any further and start going places. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to show you a little bit of what we've been working on outside of the round pen after we get done with our groundwork. Now, per the conversation that we had last week and the conversation that I have had with a couple different trainer friends, I have been working specifically on backing him up as soon as I feel his attention leave me and leave our specific situation. Now remember, he's just doing what his instincts are telling him to do. So I'm trying really hard to keep his awareness on me. And as soon as I feel his direction change, the mental and emotional state of him change, I stop and back him up. And because we're out away from that distraction, I have the opportunity to release that pressure and reward him and pet him on his face for responding appropriately. But I have to be super consistent here. I can't change how I respond to his behavior here. I have to do the exact same thing all the time. That way he can trust how I'm going to respond when I'm asking these things of him. So again, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what we've been working on. And then once I get done with this, then the test is to take him out to the distraction and see if anything that we've been working on has been effective at all, and see if I'm making any ground, or do I need to come back and work on it some more. Okay, so now it's time for the test, and what I'm going to show you is actually a huge improvement on what I experienced the very first time I walked him up this driveway. And if you'll notice, the head is long and low. He's reaching his head down low. It's even or below his withers. But you can see immediately when it goes up in the air above his withers, that's when I lose his attention and his awareness that I am even there. He immediately starts to pay attention to those mares. And I back him off, and I've whacked him one now, and I've whacked him in the face, and I'm going to comment about that here in a second. But if you see, he just doesn't want to go forward now. He's like, look, I know what I'm going to get. I don't want to walk up there at all. And I have to kind of play this back and forth game with him to get his feet moving again and get him to walk past again. And at no point anymore am I going to send him forward at any time. The head goes long and low again. When that head is below the withers, I have his awareness on me, I have his attention on me, and as soon as it goes up, I lose him. and he starts to pay attention to what else is going on around him. And that can be said for everything you do with horses. And we get this reaction. So now he gets in a lot of trouble for that. I make it really difficult. And here I have to be very aware of my surroundings. There's T-posts, there's barbed wire fencing, and this barbed wire fencing was here long before I came around. So I'm going to have to navigate with the horses respectively of that. And I continue to back him up a little bit, and I try to ask him to walk forward again, make it easy for him once I have his attention back on me. His head goes down. He's got his ears kind of, back a little bit, paying attention, not head up and, looking. These are the signs that people miss when they're handling horses. These are the things that get people into wrecks with horses. And I have to admit, I didn't really pay attention to it myself at first when I first handled him that day, leading him past these mares up this driveway. And now when I have a situation with a horse, I have to address it immediately, because if I don't, it's going to rear its ugly head sooner or later. These things that we ignore and that we don't observe in our horse will always come back to haunt us later, you guys. They will always come back, okay? I can't emphasize that enough to you. In my career, if I ignore a behavior, I'm going to get kicked, I'm going to get bit, I'm going to get bucked off, I'm going to get drug, okay? So I have to address these things immediately. And, and I take that approach with all of my dealings with life. This can be a whole life lesson. I am not that woman that's going to sit quietly in silence when I'm pissed off at my man. JD's going to know when there's something wrong, and we're going to try to fix the situation immediately. And that's the way I go about head on with everything, because with horses, they live in the moment. They don't have the ability to have these human characteristics. They're going to go on instinct and on their feelings. And so we're walking back down the hill past those mares again. You see his head go up in the air, and I whack him in the head a couple of times. And this is where I make a huge mistake. And in retrospect, if I could have done things differently, I would have used my broken whip here, and I would have taken it to his chest or the front of his legs. That face is a sacred place. It's everything that we do with them has to do with the face, between putting the halter on, the bridle, getting them soft, bending them around. I should have never gone to his face, and you can tell he's resisting walking with me, because he's like, hey, I don't want to get whacked in the face again. So that's where I made a huge mistake, and I knew it as soon as I did it, and I need to fix that in the future with him. So let's talk about equipment and routine here, okay? We want to be very specific and precise in our everyday routine with them. Why not went to B&T Performance Horses down in Litchfield, Kentucky, where he was collected and he was taught to mount a dummy. And Bradley told me he has a very specific routine that he uses on the studs when he handles them. First of all, when they go to the breeding shed, they go with a flat leather halter. And the reason for this is because most of his clients use rope halters on their horses, and he wants the horses to be able to distinguish the difference between a rope halter that they use for their everyday work and a flat halter that they're going to go to the breeding shed with. He also walks them a specific way to the breeding shed, and so there is a distinct difference between going to the breeding shed and going to work or going to do a job. And that helps tremendously in these horses' behaviors. They know when it's time to be a stud, and they know when it's time to be a gelding. So for me, I'm trying to be very specific in my routine with him. I'm trying to show him that, hey, nothing you will be doing with me will ever allow you to act or behave like a stud. From the halter I use on you to our everyday work that we're doing. Editing Becky here. I just realized I didn't show you guys the halter I was using. I took a traditional nylon halter that adjusts. I cut the nose band out, and I took 2 chain chin straps across the nose. So I always have a built-in stud chain on the horse's nose, and it's only there if I need it. Now back to the rest of our And so you guys, I really hope you make good choices today. I hope this video helped you out a lot. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.